Hey, badass business owners, welcome to another episode of the Local Small Business Coach Podcast, where each episode we work on getting you to $100,000 in take-home pay. So if you're all ready to boost your profits, increase your sales, improve your processes, and develop stronger teams so you can stop living job to job, then let's dive in. Hey, badass business owners. I'm sitting here chuckling because I did this great intro and then I looked at the computer and realized I forgot to turn on the mic. So you get the laughing intro instead of the high, pumped up, energetic welcome to the show one. But I am excited that you guys are here with me today because I want to talk about something that happens all the time. And that is where some of you get to this point in your business where you just have way more business than you can handle. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you're making tons of money. It just means that your business has grown to a point where you're working tons of hours and you're just like you're having to put jobs off 2 to 3 weeks, and it's just you can't get there, and it's just everybody's pulling at you. Your family knows you're not home. You just don't feel like you can take a day off, and it's gone crazy. And a lot of times when we get to this point of we have more business than we can handle, it's a frustrating thing at the same time because we're just not making the money that we want to make at the same time. And we're stuck because we want to be able to make more money. We know we should take on more jobs, but yet we can't take on more jobs and we can't make more money. So we kind of get frustrated. We kind of get to this point where we start to not be happy with our business. We're not as excited as our business. So that is one of the issues that I think that sometimes will pop in, and it kind of it deflates us a little bit. So I want to hit this up because what triggered me thinking about this is I actually had a couple people that I was kind of talking about this. It wasn't super extreme, but they were getting there, or they weren't complaining, but yet I could see it because then when I'm talking to them, they were talking about how far out they were on their business. So I know that it was only a matter of time before they started feeling that fatigue from the entire thing. But then I also came across a Facebook post from a business owner who is doing the exact thing I just described. They're working all those hours. They want to grow the business, but yet they can't grow the business. And because they are, nothing gets done in the business without them touching it. And that's a majority of you guys, because really, if you think about most local small business owners, unless you have employees or you've made the commitment to an employee, 99% of the time it's you. It's you producing it, it's you making it, it's you delivering it, it's you executing it, whatever the case may be. So when you get to this point where you have more business than what you can handle, what are you supposed to do? That's what the question becomes. So let's take a few moments and talk about it. And this may or may not be perfect for your particular business, but it's the right way for you to start asking yourself some questions so you can back your way back out of it. First off, you have to admit you've got a problem. You can't keep going the way that you're going today. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to burn out, and you're not going to be able to keep moving forward. And you're going to slowly start resenting the business that you love so much. And you're going to find yourself getting short with people, maybe a little snappy. And a lot of that comes from a lack of sleep, some frustration, and everything else. And we don't want to get you to that point. We also don't want you to blow up the business because you just can't do it. And we also don't want you to create something where people stop using you because you become so far out and how long it takes for them to get your services, because depending upon your business, people may not be able to wait 2 to 3 weeks. The people that'll wait 2 to 3 weeks for you are people that are repeat customers, people that love you, people that your reputation is really strong. Now, that's not necessarily always a bad thing. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to do it tomorrow, but it does mean you need to take a step back and you need to take a look, because there's only so much of you that can go around. Well, the very first thing that you need to look for is this. You need to stop the craziness for a minute. And I know that sounds hard because you don't have time to stop, but you need to find some time where you can take 10, 15, 20 minutes just to breathe for a second and start looking at your business from the outside. I want you to, how like in the movies, you sometimes will see a person who's in the hospital and they die, but yet they're not really dead. So they're kind of hovering above their body, looking at everybody going crazy on their body, trying to bring them back to life. And they're kind of watching it. And it's kind of this surreal moment. I want you to do that with your business. Okay. I want you to float outside of your body, outside of your business, and I want you to hover and float over. And I want you with a different eye, not your own eye, not your own emotions attached to it. Okay. You need to be cold and calculating on this. I need you to float above your business and float above you and ask yourself, where are the hangups? What is causing the problem? And it's not so much that the problem is because you have too much business. The issue is, how can you make this a tighter business? Because if you have a lot of business, that's a good thing. That means people love what you do. They love what you're offering and everything else. You now have to look for solutions that will allow you to make more money and take on additional jobs as needed. So the first thing you have to do is you have to look at your processes. We'll talk about processes. We'll continue to talk processes. Some people call it systems. Whatever the case may be, it's basically the how you do it of the business. This is very, very important because for a lot of you guys, the reason that it's taking you so long on some of these jobs is you have to ask yourself, what's causing the hangups? Why is a job that probably should take, an hour, why is it taking 2 hours? There's one way to get back some time. So you need to look at anything that's a time-consuming activity and ask yourself, is there a way for you to cut that time back? Is there a way for you to shave that off? It could be the way that you schedule things. Are you finding that part of the reason you can't take on everything is because you're running from this end of town to that end of town? You're going 20 miles over here and then you're going 10 miles over here. Can you group things by area? If you're going into certain cities or certain areas, can you put them on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays? I don't know. But look at your particular business and ask yourself, what are those things that are sucking up your time? Is it the way that you purchase stuff? Is it that you constantly run out of inventory, or there's common supplies you need on a regular basis? If you find yourself going to Home Depot every day or every other day for the same things, then those might be things that you stock up on. And even though, yes, you're investing some money and you're kind of putting money on the shelf, as we call it, it might be worth it if it saves you time on the backside because you're not having to make that trip to Home Depot on a regular basis. So if there are certain things, you want to go ahead and throw them in your truck, throw them in your garage. You just don't want to have a lifetime supply of them. You want to have a couple weeks maybe, but if it saves you time and opens up some of that calendar, then you need to do something like that. You need to also ask yourself, are there some tasks that you're doing? Are there some things that you're doing that are easy for you to be able to pass off to somebody else? Now, I use the word easy in a weird way. Nothing is ever easy, and it's never easy to find someone to do stuff. But here's the problem. There are several of you guys out there, and you might be one of them, that are doing jobs that are $10 jobs, $15 jobs that somebody else can be doing. And that's going to free up your time to work on the $50, $60 type jobs. And you need to find somebody to take on those kind of roles. Whether it's somebody within your own family, a family, a friend who can step in. Maybe it's you hire someone from the school. Whatever the case may be, you need to ask yourself, how much are you doing that other people can do? Sometimes people get hung up on this, for example, on marketing. If you do postcards, or if you do door knockers, or you do things, those door hanger things, or if you do things that you could pay someone to go around and do instead of you doing it, then they can do it. Now, granted, for most of you, if you're working so far out and you're so busy, you're probably still not handing those things out. But if there are certain tasks, same thing with like your bookkeeping, hire someone to do parts of your bookkeeping or invoicing if you can. Hire someone if you're on the job and you're doing jobs. For some of you, even the job you do, you could hire somebody to do at a much lower rate of pay because it's not a skilled labor that you need. You just need an extra set of hands. You have to look at this. Last week, we talked about how to figure out how you can afford somebody. And remember, a big chunk of affording additional help is because they will free up your time to be doing higher income producing things. So in this particular case, this is something that you need to look at. You need to see, is there a way for you to streamline anything that you're doing? Can you make it easier? So you need to be looking at all these different processes and all these different things. This lady who had the Facebook page, one of the things, her question on there, one of the things is that she made everything herself, and then she would go to a show, she'd sell everything out, rinse, repeat, and would keep doing it. And everybody was and she wanted to know how to reduce the stress and how to feel better and everything else. Well, everyone didn't necessarily answer her question directly, but what they were doing was trying to offer solutions that would free up her time. And they all meant well. Part of it was, she was drained by the end of the week. Plus, she was an introvert, and it makes it difficult to be able to do all that. And I get it because I'm an introvert. And by the end of the week, I'm so drained from all my interactions with people, especially at the end of the day. So I totally get that piece. But the problem is she might find a way to deal with all that stress, but she still was going to have the same problem at the end of the day. She was still going to have way more business than she could handle. And it came down to the process that she was using. One, she handmade stuff. She didn't want to give that up. So as long as she wanted to hold on to this was going to create a bottleneck in her business because there's only so much that she can put together, which therefore meant there's only so much that she could sell because she was always running out of product. So that's part of the issue is, one, she's got to figure out how to make more products so she can sell more products so she can make more money. But she was holding on to the fact that she had to custom make it, and you see this sometimes for any of you that watch Shark Tank. You'll see people that go in there, and one of the things they kill them on is the fact that they don't want to have other people make their product. Now, I'm not saying, because some people started saying outsourcing, and some people are like, no, I want to have jobs here and everything else. There's nothing wrong with having jobs here, but you can't tell me there's not people in your community that can help you make those things, or people that are willing to come over and do parties and help you make those things. Yes, you have to watch your quality control. You do need to make sure that it still has your stamp of approval and everything else. But there were some things that she could be doing that would help her not only sell more, but not have to spend as much time on some of those activities. And which really comes to one of the things that you need to do is you need to have an open mind to solutions to your problem. Sometimes we get so set in our ways that we're going to do it our way and this way, and we think that's the best way. If that was the best way, trust me, you wouldn't have the problem that you're in today. And that's something you really have to keep in mind. I'm one of those people. I get it. You know what? I'm pretty smart, probably too smart for my own good. You're probably too smart for your own good. But the problem is it doesn't make you open to suggestions on how to make your business better and how to make your business flow easier. And this is why you've got to come outside of your body, and you need to come outside of your business and look at it from that 30,000 foot level so you can see some of those opportunities. Now, I do want to hit on one more thing when you have more business than you can handle, and this is a no-brainer for a lot of people. And you probably have had people that tell you this. You need to raise your prices. Okay? By raising your prices, it's going to allow you to A, start making more money. But I know what you're thinking. For some of you, you're afraid to raise your prices because you think you're going to lose business. You're already losing business. You're already losing business because people are having to wait 2 to 3 weeks out. And here's the thing. If you raise your prices and you lose one person, you really didn't lose anything other than having one more person that you have to try to squeeze in somehow, but you've made up the same thing in money. The reason you have so much business, the reason people are willing to wait out that long is because, once again, we go back to what I said earlier in the episode. They already love you. They already love what it is that you do. So you need to make sure that you're charging yourself fair wages for what it is that you offer. Most people whose business grows and they have more business they can handle are underpriced. And you're underpriced. People know it, which is why you have such a big book of business. Now, it probably was the right way and the right thing to do in order for you to grow your business. But now you've grown your business. You've grown your business so much that you have more business than you can handle. So guess what? Now is the time for you to sit back and say, what is the correct pricing for what it is that I do, for the quality that you do, the great service that you do, for everything that you do. I guarantee you, for most of you, you can raise your prices. Don't worry about those 2 or 3 jobs that you're going to lose. You're going to make it up on the money side. And they were only using you anyways for your low prices. So if you lose people, just know that that's probably because they were never sold and bought into that you were the best at what it is that you do. They were only using you because they knew they could get you cheaper than they could get everybody else. So the people that really value the quality of what you offer and what you do and the service that you offer, they're going to stick around. So raise your prices. Some people will tell you to double your prices. You know what? It depends on where you're at, but for some of you, just creep it up 25%. Raise them 25%, then grow to where you have more business you can handle. Raise them again. You know what? It sounds hard to do, and it's emotionally very difficult for some of you guys to do, but you have to do it because you can only grow so much. And in order for you to bring aboard some of those people, you need to raise your prices. So, oh my gosh, can you imagine how much bigger you can grow your business if A, you raise your prices, you use those price increases to help bring on people that also free up some of your time. Now you can take on even more business than what you had before. And guess what? It continues to grow your business. It's a cycle. Everything we do is course correction. You know what? Even if you put something on autopilot, you have to keep looking, and just a degree off on an airplane can take you to a completely different continent. So it's really important that you course correct your business all the time. And by you raising your prices, adding people, adding equipment, doing whatever you need to do to grow your business, that's how you grow it. You want to be busting at the seams. That's what you want to do. But what you don't want to do is get frozen busting at the seams to the point where you have no life. You're working 24/7. Your customers are so far out and everything else. You need to make sure that you're course correcting. Make the changes that you need to do. Raise your prices, fix your processes, fix your systems, continue to grow. For some of you, you wish that you had this problem. You need to actually go backwards and say, okay, what else are you doing? That's a completely different topic for a different show. But at some point, all of you are going to face this where you have way more business than you can handle, and you need to break it down. You need to figure out why. You need to float above your business. You need to look at it. You need to come up for air. You need to be able to breathe so you can see things clearly. And the hard part is, you're going to have to carve out even more time that you don't have in order for you to start fixing some of the things that you need to fix. You need to keep an open mind. It may be something that you don't want to change, but you have to change in order for you to grow. So keep that open mind, especially if you're getting input and feedback from other people. Especially remember, there's people that have walked in your shoes before. There are people that have experienced. You're not alone. You're not the first person to have more business than you can handle. And guess what? You don't have all the answers. As much as we like to think we have all the answers, and we all like to think nobody knows our business like we do, guess what? People have walked in our shoes. Why do you think that we like listening to millionaires and billionaires tell you what they wish they would have known back then? Why are we listening? We're willing to take their advice, but we're not willing to take other people's advice that are in just one league or two leagues ahead of us. That, you know what? That's the thing. Those are the people that are going to be able to relate to you the most. They just came out of what it is that you're going through today. Listen to their advice. When you start finding those common themes, listen to them. There's a reason they're trying to tell you. And finally, the last thing that I want to kind of put on here is you need to take action. You need to do something. Otherwise, you just need to accept what your situation is. Because if you're not willing to take action, then I don't want to hear you complain about it. And there are people out there that have done that. And this is where the tough love comes in. I can't tell you how many people would rather bitch and moan about their life and how hard it is, and they can't do the business, and they can't do this, and they can't do that, but yet they don't take any action to change it. If you don't take action, you can't complain. Or if you can complain, but ain't nobody going to want to listen. So you might as well just tell it to yourself. All right. Something's got to give. And if you don't make those changes, your health is either going to give, your quality of life is going to give, or the quality of your products or services is going to give. Something is going to give if you don't make some changes. So it's a wonderful thing. It's a fantastic thing. I want you to pat yourself on the back that you have more business you can handle. That's an amazing thing. That means you've got a product, a service. You've built a business that people want. But in order for you to be able to continue to grow, in order for you to continue to expand and then make more money and to continue to snowball this success that you've got going, you've got to come up from here. You've got to look at the way that you're doing business and how you can tweak it, because it's a wonderful thing. You're in a fantastic place. I'm excited for you, but just be open-minded. Listen to what needs to get done. You know what? Take a look, float above your business, what needs to change in order for you to make a difference. All right, I'm going to get out of here. that was the main thing I wanted to talk about today. Do me a favor, if you really love this podcast, and I know some of you guys do because you reach out and you tell me that, and I love it. Do me a favor, share it with other business owners, share it on social media, share it with people you run into, show them introduce them to the world of podcast, because I want to try to help as many small business owners, local business owners as I can. I want to like help a million people who are trying to run a successful business here in their little communities. That's my mission. That's where I want to go. And that's where I'm taking this one. And I know I need to step outside and float above my business on a regular basis as well. And I don't ask enough for you guys to help do me a favor and share the message if you think people will benefit from it. That's how you can continue to help. And that's about how you can give back to me. If you really enjoy what it is that you get, give back to me by helping other people discover the show so that they can help grow their business, because really you're giving back to them so that we can help motivate them and inspire them to take their business to the next level as well. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, badass business owners, before you go, just one thing. If you ever feel like you're alone and you would love to be with a like-minded group of individuals, head on over to our Badass Local Small Business Owner Facebook page. We have no spamming, no advertising, anything like that. Just your questions, mine, and we just kind of help each other out, grow our businesses, and share knowledge. You can feel free to know that you're in a safe place and ask your questions of people that are actually going to care about you. So once again, head on over to Facebook. It's the Badass Local Small Business Owner page. You can also hit the show notes and it's right there. Once again, it's going to be stuff and people out there that care about you and helping you grow your business.